We are Chris Lee and Blake Lovell of Southeastern 14, presented by Steaks. Today we are previewing a game you've all been waiting for. UMass, considered by many the worst team in the FCS. Excuse me, the FBS. There are some FCS teams better than UMass. There might also be some FCS teams better than A&M, the way the Aggies played last weekend. This is a game that I don't think there will be a lot of eyeballs on when it starts at noon Eastern on Saturday.
Yeah, probably not. A&M. If you're watching this after we put out our power rankings, you'll see where we have them this week in the SEC pecking order. But yeah, I mean, it's a team that hasn't won a game since September, and playing a team that hasn't also won a game since September. So not exactly the most high-profile matchup in that scenario. UMass's last win, September 17th against Stony Brook. A&M's last win, boy, which feels like forever ago, September 24th against Arkansas. So, yeah, that's where things stand for these two teams, and yeah, so it is a game on the schedule, and even for Texas A&M fans, probably not one they're very excited about outside of just finally getting a win. That's probably about it. So.
It is indeed a game on the schedule. Okay, when UMass has got the ball, it's not pretty. It's even uglier than when the Aggies have the ball. UMass averaging 14 points a game, A&M giving up 22.8. The Minutemen have lost 3 fumbles. The Aggies have recovered 10. UMass has thrown 12 picks. A&M has registered 4. UMass has been sacked 22 times. A&M has registered 16 yards per rushing play. This takes sacks out and counts them as pass plays. UMass 4.1. Aggies giving up 5.3 per rush play. This is unbelievable. UMass averaging 4.2 yards a pass play. A&M giving up 5.4. The play here, if you're UMass, is to run the ball, which, when you've only fumbled 3 times and you've thrown 12 picks and you're averaging basically the same per carry that you do per pass play, that's the play I would think A&M would have figured that out. So not looking for a lot of offensive success for UMass, which would be par for the course for all its other games.
Yeah, I mean, run the ball and play keep away. I feel like that's it. Not as though, you're probably that intimidated by A&M's offense right now. But I mean, still though, right? I mean, you look at the passing numbers, not like UMass has had any sort of consistent passing attack. Um, A&M's pass defense is still, I think, top 10 in the country statistically. Their rush defense, as we've talked about many times, is a completely different story. So, yeah, I mean, if you're UMass, try to play to your strength, which numbers wise is running the ball, and hope that A&M can't stop you. And I mean, because again, they haven't been able to stop many teams in that regard, but I think the SEC competition is a little bit different than this game. So, yeah, I don't have a lot more to add. I mean, UMass is averaging, what are they, 130th in the country in points scored, averaging 14 points a game.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I just don't see a big path. I mean, really, when we go up and down their list here, they've had 2 games where they've scored over 13 points, and that's Liberty. They lost 42-24 in that one. This past game, they put up 33 in a 35-33 loss to Arkansas State. Everywhere else, they've scored 13 or less. So yeah, doesn't seem like an ideal setup. But if they're gonna find a path, I think the only path is just trying to run the ball and taking time of possession maybe, just to keep this game close if that's possible. Because I just don't really see another path for the offense.
Before we talk about the other side of the ball, let's talk about our presenting sponsor, Stakes. You can predict sports better than the crowd for a chance to win NFTs. With Stakes, players can cement their sports predictions against friends, other fans, and influencers forever. Don't let your sports genius go overlooked. Join Stakes and have the best predictions captured in the moment. Head to playwithstakes.com/14. Use our invite code Southeastern14 for a double welcome bonus. Free to join, free to play, win stuff. What's not to like here? Help out those who help our show. Okay. When the Aggies have the ball, I think A&M still trying to get in positive yardage territory in the second half of that Auburn game. That was something. A&M is averaging 21.5 points a game. UMass giving up 30.9. The Aggies have lost 8 fumbles. UMass has recovered 5, 6 picks for A&M. UMass has registered 9 interceptions, 15 sacks given up by UMass or by the defense, 22 given up by A&M. Aggies averaging 5.5 yards per rush play. UMass giving up 5.3. A&M averaging 5.7 per pass play. UMass giving up 6.8. I think A&M will want to run the ball in this one. Hang on to the ball, hopefully, and that's the plan, just as it is for UMass on the other side of the ball.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie to you here, and I wish I would not have hit the reload button, because when I clicked on Texas A&M football stats, and I am not lying to you, Chris, like I promise you, when I clicked on A&M's football stats, you know what it gave me? Apparently, there was some kind of technical glitch,
An error message?
momentarily. No, it gave me the Chicago Bears stats, because it had Justin Fields at quarterback, it had Khalil Herbert at running back, David Montgomery. I'd like that offense a lot better right now.
That would be an improvement.
The Bears offense under Justin Fields right now is putting up some points. But anyways, back to the actual conversation, because when I'm reloading here trying to get back to the Bears, but no, it's still A&M stats now, and they do look a little bit different. I mean, look, we said I think that offensively, they're a better team with Connor Wegman in there. I don't think there's a whole lot of doubt about that in terms of their ability to move the ball and those kind of. I know they didn't do it against Auburn, but I still think he's the better option of the group. I know the numbers were not great. We had 39% completion percentage against Auburn in that game, 14 of 36. But I still think he's, for the future, he's clearly their best chance, I think, to find some sort of offensive rhythm. But that's in the passing game. We know in the running game, Devin A. Chain and what he can do. I feel like this is one of those games where, you'll probably see a lot of him. I think he will certainly have the ball in his hands a lot, until perhaps the game gets out of control. So I think it's pretty simple for A&M. Get the ball in his hands and let him do his thing, and you should be fine, just given the statistical matchup here with, their ability to run the ball whenever he's effective. And then on the other side, clearly the strength of the UMass defense, more so in the secondary than it is in terms of stopping the run. So
one final note here before we get into our predictions. UMass, in addition to being bad, is undisciplined. 71 yards of penalties a game. A&M has been fairly disciplined in that regard. 51 yards. The line on this one, 33.5 in A&M's favor, a 49.5 point over-under. That's predicting a final score of 42-8. If you take what the teams have done, the over-under should be closer to 44.5, for whatever that's worth. Anything standing out here from covers or otherwise in this one?
Yes, there is. Because UMass is 8-0 against the spread in their last 8 games against SEC teams. How about that? They've covered their last 8 games against SEC teams. Meanwhile, A&M 0-3-1 against the spread in their last 4 games overall. So if you're playing the trends here, it sounds like UMass may find a way to cover, since they've covered the last 8 times against SEC teams. But I mean, clearly I'm picking A&M to win the game. To me, this is like motivation, right? Like where is A&M at this point from a mindset standpoint? I have no idea. The talent will win out here in terms of, if they want to come out and win this game by 35 or more, they can. It's just, again, I don't know what their mindset is at this point. I don't really see a path for UMass here. But if just an unmotivated A&M team comes out, UMass runs the ball and picks up a couple scores, could they make it interesting? Absolutely. But I wouldn't, just like we said last week with Auburn A&M, I would want no part of this game if I was betting, which we're not professional bettors. We always say that. But why would I want to bet on a team that's a 33.5 point favorite that hasn't won a game since September? I don't care who they're playing, because you just don't know what the mindset's going to be. But I think A&M takes care of business and probably does it in decisive fashion. Who knows, right? So,
well, either were we getting an omen that A&M is going to become the Chicago Bears? Do we think that's what happened here?
Well, if someone starts playing like Justin Fields has been playing lately, then A&M will put up 100 here because these look pretty good for the Bears. But I don't know. Maybe it was. Maybe ESPN was trying to hint at something. I promise I wasn't on the Bears page either. Like I'm on A&M's page, and when I hit it, it's Justin Fields. Again, that'd be a nice thing to have. They could if they
One more
listen.
bizarre thing about A&M
Yeah.
season, it was the Chicago Bears for just a brief moment.
Well, that's also not ideal because the Bears just lost to the Lions, so that's also not a good omen, perhaps.
Maybe
So
that is
um,
omen.
there you go. Not good any way you slice it, maybe. So yeah.
Well, it's been a miserable season in College Station. I do not think, however, A&M is going to lose to UMass, but I do think UMass will cover, and I do like the under in this one.
The number suggests UMass
For
will be
whatever
playing
that
an
is
SEC
worth.
team. Yeah,
Probably not a lot.
we'll see.
All right. Well, hope you've had fun with this one. We are Chris, Lee, and Blake Lovell of Southeastern 14, presented by Stakes. Thanks for watching. Again, we preview every single SEC game of every week. So hit that subscribe button. Don't miss them. We'll see you again soon.